Hey guys, so we're going to go over a simple strategy. So I'm on the Bitcoin chart and we're going to look at the weekly, and we're just going to do an engulfing bar or a single bar elimination strategy. But here's the ticker. We're only going to look for longs. All right, so basically bullish engulfing candles. All right, so when doing this, it helps train you to only look for bullish setups or bullish engulfing bars. You're going to set your stop loss below the bar that was engulfed. We're not looking for any shorts. And so this can train your mind to be bullish on an asset that over time looks to perform, very well. And you can do this on the S&P 500 as well too. So for a lot of people, Bitcoin is almost like the S&P of crypto. All right. Now, that's how it's going to work. Let's go back to 2019. And here's the rule, right? We're only looking for bullish. All right. So, okay, this was August 2018, and the weekly candle. And of course, there's more data. I'm just looking at the OKX site. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I got other exchanges. I got a lot of notation on the charts, so I don't feel like deleting them. So this one is already cleared. So that's why I'm using it, and I know we can go back further. All right, here we go. We got a bearish candle. What are we doing right now? Nothing. Why? Because this candle did not engulf this one. All right, here we go. And also a bullish candle can engulf another bullish. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's bearish or bullish. It just needs to engulf. This candle engulfs. All right, we passed this. Boom. You're in the trade. Where your stop loss? Since this got engulfed, the stop loss will go right here. Where's your target? You look left. It will be your previous highs of this candle, because we don't have structure. But if it was some structure over here, we can take it to structure. But this is all we have. Where you get out at? Right here. You exit out of the trade. That's it. This would have been a success. Now watch this. I do know on the other charts there are data points, so I have nothing to look at. But we get another engulfing, guys. This week, engulf here, where your stop loss go. Below here, you look left. I'm pretty sure there's probably something up there. But let's just say there was nothing up there, and then price comes back and dips below here, knock you out of the trade. Okay, stop loss hit. Let's do another one. Let's look at this one right here. This candle right here. All right, we engulf. You're looking left. All right, your stop loss is below. All right, this candle. Now I gotta look at the formation of this. I don't know if this is came up here. All right, we closed up here. So initially when it did this, all right, instead of coming down, you see how this wick down? All right, so we're in the trade, look left, you're holding. Guess what, guys? It's a long hold, it's a swing trade, but you got 1, 2, 3. It's 4 weeks of you holding. You never basically went below this candle. Everything held tight, and then you spiked up here, you look left, it would have been in this area. This has been you basically out of the trade, take the high. And like I told you before, I know there's other candles somewhere over here because Bitcoin is older than 2019, 18. All right, but like I said, that you can see, because look, you're training yourself only to be one directional. All right, now watch this. You're not in the market. Why? Because it's a bearish move. You're being patient. Now, can we reverse this and do, if you wanted to do bearish? Yeah, you would have had opportunities. You could be in here. But this is to help people who feel like they just can't pick a side. They pick one side and the trade goes against them. Okay, well, just look for bullish setups. All right, here we go. We have nothing, and then we have something right here. December of 2018. Here we go. Boom. Where's your stop loss? Boom. Below there, because this was the candle that was engulfed. Where your target? Look left. These are the highs there. All right. Now, look like it taps into the zone. Could have got out here. All right. But, and if you want to hold, now you're swing trading. So, it's a lot of holding, But if you can muster it, you eventually would hit your targets here. All right. But if you're still looking at week to week, you can add. Okay. None of these candles was engulfed. None of these was engulfed. And then we get a what? Engulfing here. Then you can add. All right. And then you can have a stop loss here. So that may be another order. Maybe you would have got out of this order. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you're still holding on. Maybe you added another size to the position. Boom, you in. You still can look left. This is a recent area. Boom, you can exit out of the trade. But look what's happening, guys. You're having multiple times where you have candles that are engulfing candles, and you're just moving your stop losses in. You're still having these areas, right? You see how they're holding. Look at this. This somewhat engulfs, and not a lot of them going to engulf in a manner like this. Like this is a true engulfing, all right. But this is where we want price to at least pierce, close above right here. We keep moving, have a little draw back down, and push further up. But this one engulfs this one, all right. We got to stand still, but then this candle engulfs this candle. All right, your stop loss would have been what? Below, right here. Now this one, you look left, you're right here. This is your exit, right? You're taking it there, you look left. And now we got clean traffic, all right? So you see what's happening on the weekly chart. But you continue to see that you can continue moving your way up and following, because you're only looking for bullish setups, guys. All right, we get over here, price stalls. We need some candle to engulf, and then we finally get one right here. Okay, be patient. And I'm saying this like this is easy because, once again, with traders, guys, we got to change our identity. Identity is what's killing us, basically. All right, we are holding on to old identities, and we're not adopting, and we have fear, greed. We're not disciplined, self-sabotage, all that stuff, blowing accounts, taking trades that we're not supposed to, being impatient. We're supposed to retire tomorrow if we get into trading. We got all this other stuff. We're taking 1,000 courses, we're looking at 1,000 videos or whatnot. It is what it is, and even this to be another part of the 1,000 videos. But I'm just showing you how simple something could just be if you just did this. Nothing else. Yes, I got a strategy I call the black line method, all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it's BS as well too. If you do not have your identity, it's just another distraction. This is as simple as possible that this can get. And in fact, I believe that I'm going to adopt this strategies only for Bitcoin and the S&P 500. The weekly engulfing, I'm in, protect the stop loss, and keep it moving. Yeah, I really think I'm going to just do that. All right, and I'm going to show you why we get back to real time. But look, we got another engulfing, guys. Look at that, right? Bang. Protection, stop loss right here. Look at this. Engulf. Boom. We're in the what? Trade. You still can look. You can look left. All right. Stop loss below here. Okay. Now watch this. Now I can use my Fibonacci. I love the Fibonacci extension tool because it helps me in price discovery moves. Meaning if I don't have any data to the left, I'm using this because I can measure moves. All right, and what I did was I took it from this low and I did it right here. And so I pretend like these candles don't exist, but these give me all my upside targets. I got target 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It hit. So essentially, I can get into one of these trades and I can say, instead of looking left and holding, no, I'm just going to hold until it gets to these targets. And they did. So you can swing trade or position trade into these and hold for weeks. with a protected stop loss here, and of course you can move your stop loss into profit as it goes into your favor. And you're only looking for what? Bullish. Look at this candle. Now, I would be careful on these. Why? Because this is a thick candle and your stop loss is going to be really huge if it don't continue going on. All right, but it still worked in our favor. Engulf. This candle got engulfed. All right, keep it moving. Here we go. This one got engulfed. Stop loss below here. Here's your entry point. Now, this is the drawdown. Can you handle that? A lot of people won't, because it's either you're too big, you're too over leveraged. Let's say what the percentage is, because I use below fin and stuff, right? So it's 11% drop. So you got to do your stuff now. It's 16% down. All right. So what type of leverage am I using? So since I'm on a weekly, I'm not using no 10x. I may be using 2x, 3x. So I got to do 17%. You got to do that times what? 3x, right? And so that's going to give you, what is that? 17 times 3. So what is that? 17% times 3. That's like a 51%. That's 51%, guys. So what am I risking? Now let's just say you got $1,000 account, but out of that 1,000, you may only put on a $100 trade, right? So that means $51 potentially could be lost if it hits your stop loss. So you just got to factor that. Well, let's say it was 1,000 you put on, all right. And like I said, we're using 3x leverage or whatnot, right? And that's $510 that if it comes to hit you, knocks you out. Now, the good thing is we got coming up here, and I'm not going to act like that we're going to literally hold all the way up to this, because this is just looking back in time. So it's 68%, but if you do 68% times 3, that's going to give you, we do this, 68 times 3. That's 204% gain, give or take, on your money. All right, so that's worth it. So this could be a $2,000 plus something payout, and you was risking 510. All right, so you gotta look at it like that. Here we go. Boom. Entry here. Stop loss here. Once again, we got our fibs because we use our fibs. All right, so we will have some targets even though nothing's showing, but we're pretty sure, like I told you before, there's something over here. Anyway, all right, here we go. We got what? Engulf. Well, look, this is one. I want to find one that loses. All right, here we go right here. Now, initially, this will engulf, and then it came back, and then it went bearish. All right, it closed, then this one opened, and then this one dropped below, then it came back up here, and then it closed right here. So this would have been a loss. All right. So your stop loss would have been hit. Now, granted, it was in profit. You could have what? Moved into profit. So that's a thing, but we're going to count it as a loss. All right. So you lost right here. Okay, here we go. We got, boom. We're in the trade right here. All right. And your stop loss is below here. All right. And then you got structure over here you could look at. And typically we like to take it from the wick down into the bottom, or whatever was the previous candle before price fell out of a zone. All right, but price gets in here to the zone, our target's a hit. So that trade worked out. All right, where we at? What we got? We get a little wick above here. All right, so you could be in the trade, stop loss below here. And if you hold on this one, you're getting chopped up. your stop loss gets hit, so you lose on this one. All right, we're only looking for bullish. All right, we get another bullish candle right here, and then our stop loss below this candle. We get in, then we wick down here, get chopped up. But let me see how this moves first, because this, let's see, open here. Hold on. Yeah, so this was bearish, got wiped out, and it moved up here, rejected, closed at the top. Then so we'll chop this up as a L, but here's the good thing. You would have got back in as this would have engulfed this candle. All right, so you would have another order that you could have got in. Your stop loss would have still been below here because now it's pushing. Look left, all right, and then we have what supply zone. So the last candle before price drop, you take it from the high and the low of that candle. That'll give you your zone. All right, so that's the zone right here. You're in here, you would have made your money back that you would have lost on this trade right here, but it came back up to here. Engulf that, boom, good to go. Got any engulfers? Nope, no trades are taken for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Yeah, you know, we're swinging. I'm pretty sure you're using S&P, you have some opportunities there, all right? We really have nothing that's occurring, and we get one right here, so bam. All right, so that's a lot of weeks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, 10 weeks, guys. Can you be patient and do that? I don't know. It's up to you. You try it, but this strategy seems to be working. Bam, in it, stop loss below, look left, bam, targets hit, we're good to go. Let's say for whatever reason you missed it and you came in, you saw it here, same thing, boom, engulfed, stop loss right there. Entry right here, still look left, bam. Here we go again. Now we just got all this. And I'm pretty sure if we were on a lower time frame, you would see that you got some engulfing coming in, like on a daily, to coming back up on us. But nothing is engulfed yet. All right, then we get this right here that somewhat passes this level of resistance. All right, so we got this level of resistance right here. All right, we get up in here. So since this passed this level, since this candle passed this level, all right, stop loss will go below this candle right here. All right, so now we're in the trade, all right, and we're looking left. Let's take all this off so we can have our supply area, all right, and then we're gonna take it from here. So this is before, this is the last candle, high and low before it rolled out. And this is the area where we want to get out of the trade if we was in this, all right? And then as we look at our this consolidation here, we're still looking for, we get a little bit right here, you know, maybe we can take that. But let's say you got into this one right here, all right? You're still getting chopped up. This was probably would have been a loss, all right? And you get one right here, you engulf that a little bit, and then stop loss below here, you're good. It don't get hit, right? But we still gotta look left. You know, it's a lot of stuff you gotta deal with, traffic here, right? Maybe you wanna look at these levels up here, but you clearly see what's happening. You know, we get an engulf here, in the trade, look left. You know, we still got these key. Still can use these levels up here. All right, and then you can, bam, there you go. You got it. Right, here we go again. Engulf, stop loss below, look left, you get back out here. Boom. Engulf, stop loss below. Now we're in price discovery. What do we want to do? We want to use our fib extension tool. All right, we're going to take it from all the way up here. All right, and then we're going to bring it back down. And this is going to give us our targets. All right, and then we hit these targets to where we can go to. Okay. All right, so you see that we got these different price action that's happening. All these engulfing, you can engulf another same color, but boom, we in. And this could be a trailing stop type or hey, every time it enters, I'm entering a new position, and maybe you will close out the other one. I'm just giving you some ideas, but we see all 5 of our levels are hit, going up to the upside, and we can hold this trade. All right, like I said, you could, if let's say we got in right here, in a stop loss right here. Imagine your stop loss is just sitting right there. All right, and you just holding on. All right, and then as you move further up, you tell yourself, it's like, all right, now I'm gonna move my stop loss here. And as it moves on up, you say, okay, now I'm gonna move my stop loss here. You see what's happening. You're still in the trade. You're trailing it or whatnot, right? But y'all see what's happening. All right, so let's come back into real time, and you just see all over the chart, guys. We just get on the weekly and just get out of this. Okay, here we go. If we was paying attention, then what are we doing? All right, this week, boom. This candle engulf. As soon as it cross right here, all right, bam. Now I want you to look at. We got 1 day left, 4 hours. 1 day and 4 hours left. All right, so this is what you do. We're not doing nothing. You're not buying Bitcoin until what? This candle's engulfed. Now you gotta be careful because this is a thick candle, all right? But if something engulfs, my stop loss got to go here automatically. So 62, so this is a big, huge area, okay? So maybe I want to wait for another week or two. Who knows, right? But you got to factor that in, okay? Now, if we were paying attention and we were doing a strategy, then we would have been in what? Right here? And where would your stop loss be? Well, right over here, underneath this candle. Where will your targets be? Look left. All right, what was the last candle before price rolled over? This was the last. You can blast bullish or the last candle before it rolled out of the zone. So this is your supply zone. And where did price go? Into our supply zone. And we are out of the trade if we were doing this strategy. Now watch this. This engulf. This, where your stop loss? Below here. You're still in the game. Now you're in drawdown because you entered right here. So you're in drawdown, but this strategy is really a strategy of patience and letting things just play out. So it has the characteristics of you got a little bit of investing in swing or position trading, and you're looking for a long term. You're not day trading. This is weekly, so this is a long time. And you got to be patient because there's no trades to be really taken right here. Right? And you might have got away with trying to take this one. And then let's say you did, because this candle came up here, looked like it fake out, and then it came down here, and then it closed right here, all right? And then eventually, boom, candle came down here, knocked you out of this trade. That would have been a loss, but that's fine. You got way more winners. You got way more winners. The big institutions, guys, they lose a lot too. But when they win big because their losses is protected. And if we can protect our losses to just one candle, you're fine. Problem is, you got to be careful of these big fat candles because that's a long way away for your stop loss to be. So you got to make it make sense, right? So we got to be a little careful of that. Now let's see if we got an example on here of where that may have happened. Let's see, like a big huge candle, and then price came back and it didn't happen, but let's say we was doing the downside. So this bearish candle eliminated this one. Let's say we was doing it because you could do the opposite as well too. So your stop losses would be there, all right, and then your entry would have been there, all right. Now, let's just say for whatever reason, you entered here, you there and you're still holding on to it, and then you see how it come all the way back here and knock you out. Like that's a huge candle if you're just gonna leave it there. So all I'm just saying is that if you're gonna just leave, if you're just gonna use this right here if another candle engulfs this candle, then this one's gonna have to be your stop loss is gonna have to go there, and something have to go off here. And then you look left, you got this traffic, but this is probably where price would like to come to. If we do break this level, this is gonna be the next one. And yeah, you can get out there at this level, all right? So that's that, guys. Play around. This is a single bar elimination. Some people call it a golfing bar, whatever you want to call it, all right? If you already using moving averages, you can use some moving averages on here to help you, if it's price is above, below, if the engulfing is near moving averages, it may help you. I don't know. But this is a strategy you guys can try, all right? I know I'm going to do it, all right? And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to use it for Bitcoin, and I'm going to use it for SPY. Okay. And that's that. Hit the like button, subscribe. This is your boy E White. I'm out. Have a great one.